Good afternoon. I cannot tell you how excited I am to be standing at this podium. My name is Shane Wally. My pronouns are Z, here, and here's. I'm a community troublemaker. I'm an adjunct faculty member at the Steve Hicks School of Social Work. And today I am your, it says head of ceremonies, but I'm really the head of troublemaking. So welcome. I've been told I can ad lib, which is dangerous because I hear the photo booth closes at 6:30. So I'm going to try to hold myself at bay. All right. So here we go. Welcome to Lavender Graduation, just in case you aren't sure where you are. And I would like to invite Luis, the leading member of the Advisory Council of Native American and Indigenous Studies, to talk a little bit more about the land we are gathering on today. Luis.
Good afternoon. It is quite an honor for me to be here with you today. My name is Luis Urrieta, and I'm a professor in the College of Education. College of Education? I'm a member of the Native American and Indigenous Studies Program Advisory Council here at UT Austin. To open the ceremony, we would like to acknowledge that this ceremony is being held on Indigenous lands. We would like to acknowledge that we are meeting on the Indigenous lands of Turtle Island, an ancestral name for what is now called North America. Moreover, we would like to acknowledge the Alabama Cuchara, the cattle, Carrizo Come Crudo, Coahuiltecan, Comanche, Kickapoo, Lipan Apache, Tonkawa, Isleta del Sur Pueblo, and all the American Indian and Indigenous peoples and communities who have been or have become part of these lands that today we call Texas. This land acknowledgement was officially adopted by the University of Texas at Austin with the approval of President Jay Hartzell on February 4th, 2021. How many of you knew that? Well, it's official. Land acknowledgements are only one step, though, in recognizing that there are Indigenous peoples, communities, and knowledges that continue to live in relationship with the land and that thrive within these spaces and local communities, although colonization continues to impact their livelihood. We must work to not only recognize Indigenous lands and nations, but strive to reflect and be conscious of the ways our work impacts Indigenous sovereignty and self-determination and proceed in responsible ways. Dios me llamo, Matios, Witch, gracias, thank you.
This is a joyous occasion, and we're not living in a joyous time. So I would like us all to I'm going to invite us to take a moment of quiet and reflection for the last 400 years, but most particularly for the last week. So if we could just have a moment of silence. Thank you. Thank you. You can now be joyous. 15 years ago, a small but important group of graduates gathered in the art building to participate in the very first ceremony. And here we are today with 172 graduates in the Alumni Center. Although a lot has changed in those 15 years, one thing has remained the same: the importance of this ceremony on our campus. The first Lavender graduation in US history was held in 1995 at the University of Michigan, the Wolverines. Since then, campuses around the nation have adopted this tradition, and we are very fortunate to have this opportunity here at UT to celebrate and honor an outstanding group of graduates. That's y'all up here in the front. Woo! I've had the good fortune to be involved with Lavender Graduation from the beginning here at UT. I was never a Wolverine. To acknowledge the 15th anniversary, I'd like to share 15 things that I love about it. One is celebrating the increasing numbers of graduates every year. If memory serves, that first year we had about 25 graduates, right? We've had bigger numbers maybe than we do today, but come on. The fact that there are any graduates that have survived the last couple of years, right? Like double kudos to all of y'all. Okay, so it's been hosted in a lot of places. So that first one, Arts Building Auditorium, small but mighty. The next year it was in the Utopia Theater at my home school, the Steve Hicks School of Social Work. Then it went to the tower into Main 212. And I don't know if anybody's ever been in that room, but it has kind of royal palace vibes, right? It's like brocade curtains and very busy carpet. We then moved to what was our home for many years, and that was the ballroom and what started out as the Student Activity Center and now is the George C. Power Jr. Student Activity Center, as we like to name things. And one of the things I'll say about that room is it's been configured, I don't know, 4 different ways. We used half for a while, we faced the windows. We used half for a while, we faced the wall. We used the whole thing. We turned around and did the hokey pokey. It then went online, right? Yay for celebration, yay for necessity of health and safety. Ooh, for online. So I'm so excited that here we are, right? Back in person, masks, and here we are, right? So I was the education coordinator from 2007 to 2014. And one of my favorite things to do is to be the graduation wrangler. And those of you who just got wrangled know exactly what that is. This is how we're going to file in. This is how we're going to file out. This is what's going to happen. Yeah, so much fun. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Okay, this may be one of my favorite things about LabGrad, and it actually got mentioned to me in the lobby. Can we talk about fashion? We have people who are all dressed up. Woo! We have people in shorts and flip-flops because it's 100 degrees outside. We have people in cap and gowns, and we do not know what is underneath. I love that the style and individuality that is in this room every year makes me so happy and proud, right? Then we have amazing speakers with wisdom and wit and humor. One speaker had a lot of naughty language. So much naughty language. We then have awesome entertainment and talent. Sometimes that's been students. We used to have a queer chorus. It's been a variety of different things, and it will not disappoint today. Then there are awards, a recognition of amazing students, faculty, and staff who have made this campus a better place for LGBTQIA+ students. Okay. There is cheering, I am cheering, and always happy when the names of my former students are called. I had the good fortune to get to start Pierce for Pride, so I always had students in Lavender Graduation. I've had social work students come through, and there'll be an extra loud whoop whoop when that happens, right? Lavender balloon arches, always. Now, when it was in the SAC, we had to get that lavender balloon arch from there to here. Fun times. Watching people reconnect, right, with people they may only see at Lab Grad. It's happened to me, I think, 3 times today. Big squeal. I can't believe it's you. Can we hug? Do we fist bump? What is going to happen right now? Consent and agreement, right? And then it happens and you move on, right? There's the hard work of the planning committee, the volunteers, and the staff at the GSC. There are rainbow tassels, which I still proudly wear to my School of Social Work graduation. Woo! And stoles, which you'll be getting. There is a photo booth complete with costumes. One of my favorite things about Facebook are Facebook memories. My Facebook memories for the last week have been filled with ridiculous pictures from Lavender Graduation. And then there are cupcakes. Cupcakes. And then the final and closing thing, which makes Lab Grad one of the best things to do on campus, is I know that every single person who is involved is going to make this world a better place. I don't know, there's something we say around here, what starts here changes the world, right? We can make that about a cliche, or we can realize the people in this room, right, are going to rock it and do the work. So thank you. One of the reasons it's so important to celebrate these victories, that there are so many of us that do not make it to this graduation or to any graduation. Lack of access to higher education, financial barriers, I'm still paying my student loans, discrimination and oppression. We want to acknowledge these barriers and let people know who are not walking to stage today that we recognize them as well. I'm grateful for the graduates this year. It makes me so incredibly happy to see so many of you here. I am truly proud of how far you've come, and I can't wait to see, as I said before, right, where you're heading now. So graduates, like I said, sit back in these so cozy chairs, relax, and enjoy the celebration of your success. You have earned it. And to begin with, I would like to welcome Helen Warmington, Executive Director of Strategic Initiatives. We like long titles at UT. The Division of Diversity and Community Engagement, and longtime supporter of the Gender and Sexuality Center, who will provide our opening remarks.
I'm just a little sad because I did not get to know Shane back because I started in the division in 2013 at the end, and you must have just left. So hopefully you can get to know each other in the years to come. On behalf of our Vice President, Dr. LaToya Smith, and the DDCE, the Division of Diversity and Community Engagement, I would like to extend congratulations and offer the very best to you and your loved ones. When I was offered the chance to speak today, that's Liz. Thank you, Liz, for recommending me. I jumped at it. I love the community that's gathered in this room, and I'm honored to get to be part of the 15th year that UT celebrates Lavender Graduation. During our first few Lavender graduations, there were just a dozen or so students celebrating, like Shane mentioned. Now look at this room, and virtually, I believe, as well. LGBTQIA+ students at UT have persevered and created a dynamic, thriving community. And you've done this despite a pandemic that's interrupted your education, your work, and your advocacy on campus. Change can seem slow when you're in the middle of it, working to make it happen. But we have made so much progress since the GSC was established in 2004. I can put it simply, you have changed the culture of UT. I'm looking at Adrian right now saying, yes, you have. Think about the achievements of just the past few years. Through your advocacy and your determination, we have increased the number of gender inclusive restrooms across our campus. We've added additional staffing to GSC. And this year, we are finally able to offer gender inclusive housing to our incoming students in the As you know, though, we have more work to do. With the most recent collaborative student authored report on the state of LGBTQIA+ affairs at UT, you offered a vision and a path forward for our campus community today, and for the next generation of students that step onto this campus. The work isn't done, but thanks to you all, we can keep making progress. This is a moment to celebrate yourself and those around you. Celebrate the work that you've done and the things you've accomplished. But most importantly, just celebrate that you're here today. You made it, right? To all of our graduates again, kudos and congratulations. You're tested not just by your professors, but by adversity. And you have proved you have the character needed to succeed, no matter what happens in your future. You had the amazing team of Liz and Lily, Sydney and Sarah, and Mumtaz providing support along the way. And you have the support of incredible former staff members like Shane and KB, who are both here today. Yay! We, all of us, so look forward to seeing what you do next. Best wishes to you all. And I would say hook 'em, but I really didn't think it was really a great idea.
Thank you for your inspiring words and for all the work you do for the students here at UT. I would now like to introduce our entertainment. I promise there also really will be cupcakes. A former GSC colleague I've had the pleasure to do some troublemaking with, KB Brookings. You can come stand by me and be embarrassed if you'd like to be here while your bio gets read. Yeah. Yes. KB is a Black, queer, transmasculine poet, essayist, and cultural worker from Texas. Their writing is published in the Academy of American Poets, Huffington Post, American Poetry Review, and elsewhere. KB is the author of How to Identify Yourself with the Wound and Freedom House. They have earned fellowships from PEN America, Broadway Advocacy Coalition, and Lambda Literary, among others. Currently, KB is a board member of the Ground Floor Theater and Texas Pride Health, an MFA candidate at the University of Texas in Austin, and a freelance artist and consultant. You can follow them at Earth to KB. KB, the mic is yours. Yay!
To the black spot on the vein of my left arm for the weekly plasma donations. To the brown scar under my chin from running too fast on a freshly mopped floor. To the altar I called my dorm bed. To the poems I've started and stopped for femmes with dyed fades and nails plunged in bubblegum pink. To Dollar Tree nail polish, because it's always been there. To the top coat for staining my favorite jacket. To the scars blotched over my legs from scratching mosquito bumps to being a tomboy in elementary and middle school. To the manuscripts I didn't finish. To the fragments that choked them out. To the stretch marks on my stomach and forearms and shoulders. To the animals of past lovers, I definitely miss more than the lovers. To my people that have transitioned to another plane. To you, the witness of what love does to the brain. To my body for housing a trauma that is timid. To the holes in my jeans. To my wide hips and my lips for always being uncontainable. What's up, Lavender Graduates? How y'all doing? Guys, for the first time in my life, I didn't have to like lower the speaker thing. I had to like make it higher. I'm feeling such gender euphoria right now. So I'm KB. I promise that bio was not obnoxiously long for no reason. I'm gonna read y'all some poems, and I'm gonna hope that it's a good time. So as Shane said, I'm Black, queer, and trans. I didn't have a Lavender graduation when I was coming up, which LOL, I'm not that old, but I didn't have one, and it's so cool to kind of like live vicariously through y'all today. So this next poem is for all the trans people in the audience. It's just a poem about me starting to go by the name KB. It's called Fleeting Thoughts on a Dead Name That's Not Quite Dead. Indignant, I demand the panelists say my name. I'm begging my psyche to let me tell old homies my new name. I put up with a name because it feels too much like home. New friends dap me up, call me names in crowds of people. The cashier can't hear me when I yell. It isn't hard to correctly spell my name. 2 letters of secrecy, one for knowledge, one for fame. Baseline, it is my only name. I can't say it any clearer. In the mirror, I do not see a name. I see a face with many visions of hearing my name different. I hope my lineage knows I'm respectful of the name that they've given. On legal papers, I'm ignorant to what I see on the page. Say my name, but only if you let it change for me. I'm dead, as in I don't live for you anymore. I birthed myself into my own name. Thank you. Guys, since this is a queer event, I thought to do a queer love poem. Please bear with me. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. So sorry to the people that are like, we hate love. Maybe step outside, try to get a cupcake early. Because I'm in love with what I see. I'm in love with all of the queerness around me. So I thought to read a queer love poem. It's called How to Identify Yourself with a Wound, 2020. The virus came and everything was already lonely. I became accustomed to yearning and receiving isolation in return. I remember mistaking shoulder touches for I love you and tones triggered forever in my brain. Yet another noctilucent love fades as the prayer plant opens in the morning. It's hard living touch to touch. I live in fragments of consciousness only to be reminded of shame every time a shirt or chest squeeze was too close. And then there was you. Fighting restroom signs for me, filling places in my body I didn't know knew empty, showing me that love is nothing to be afraid of, that I am nothing to be afraid of. For the first 4 weeks, I was afraid of hurting you. Now you make me believe in touching someone without using hands. Peeling back our intricacies has been my only consensual labor. I am nourished with fruits and FaceTimes, all that's needed in the pyramid of our love. Soon my chest will finish growing skin that only you and surgeons have touched. Even when the world ends in greed and misfortune, at least we will have treasured this divine exclusivity. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. got two pieces left. This one is about friendship. One thing that just saved me throughout my undergraduate experience, and probably a lot of y'all can agree, is just having other friends like tell me that, you know, who I was wasn't an issue, you know, and telling me that I can make it through this last round of tests, you know what I mean? And I can't even imagine doing all of that virtually, like y'all some soldiers, bro. So I was just in my teacher's face like, I'm failing. What do I do next? But this is a poll about me and my friends taking our weekly testosterone shots together. It's called T-shot number 10. Every Wednesday, me and the homies virtually lock arms. Start with the alcohol swabbing and progress into our veins of tomorrow. In the beginning, I'd like to think God created flaws. They must have easily seen other possibilities coming towards them. Gender isn't a creation, it's a flaw of the snapshot thinking system. We transform into sci-fi, picking on deception with our pink and blue needles. A prick isn't so simple when there's death on the other side. The homies say, you got this when I hesitate for too long. Every Wednesday, me and the homies stick shift gravity. The only way we move is forward. Thank you. This is the final poem, and I'm legally obligated to tell y'all that I have a book out. It's $14 out in the hallway. If you want it, just literally come get it. Thank y'all so much for having me and letting me be a part of our special moment. I appreciate it. This poem is called When the Lights Shut Off. I want the Odd Future shirt in my closet to go to K. Maybe she'll need it to remember my Tide detergent trademark, or how striped and colorful I was when silence feels fatal. Remind her of Afropunk, you know, that time when she fainted at a Tyler, the Creator concert, and we left because her dirt-covered face under New York limelight mattered more than moshing to Party Isn't Over. I want my glasses to go to D. After all, she helped me see the significance of circles. Whether it be shaking at any sweaty bar on 4th Street, or the fog marks flashing on my frames while we succumb to the desire behind our eyelids. I want my ashes scattered in the Trinity River while Kendrick Lamar curates the melancholy of my moments. There are no Photoshop flower crowns allowed. I want everything else left to my godson so he can bloom instead. In the churches, hoods, outcasts, enemies, I know they all will sing about me. Say I wish, I could have, I would have. I'll remind them it's okay. Then I'll finally see my people again. We'll hug and kiss, then sing to the crowd. At the end of me is only a fossil. The things I once owned, the body I once homed, I hurt, but I love you much better is coming. At the end of you is only a fossil. The things you once homed, the body you once homed, I hurt, but I love you much. I promise, better is coming. Thank you.
I cannot promise that the cupcakes are going to be that good. Thank you so much for your powerful words and the amazing work you do for our local LGBTQ+ communities in Austin. Now it is my honor to introduce our first award. Right, here we go. In 2008, at our first Lavender Graduation, a group of students created the AIR Award to honor Anna Michelle Rosal, the founding director and my former boss for which I will be forever grateful, of the Gender and Sexuality Center, in acknowledgement of her work improving the lives of the LGBTQIA plus students on campus. I cannot tell you what would not be here without Michelle. Yeah, I'm just gonna get tears, so I'm gonna move on. The award serves to celebrate the contributions of faculty and staff members at UT. Nominated by student leaders, AIR Award recipients represent the best in service to the LGBTQIA plus student community. This year's winner is Dr. Lisa Moore. Director of LGBTQ Studies here at UT, and there would be no LGBTQ Studies without Dr. Lisa Moore. Going off script. So a fun fact about Dr. Moore and I is that we both moved here from Ithaca, New York. She moved here in 1991, PhD at Cornell. I moved here in 1997. I was the textbook buyer at Cornell. It's not smart enough to be a student, but smart enough to get a paycheck. And we both landed at this wonderful university. Okay, on script. Dr. Moore has been to almost as many lab grads as I have, possibly more. Lisa Moore was a student, was a favorite. Let's try that again. Lisa Moore was a student favorite this year, and they mentioned her support on personal projects, her amazing LGBT studies classes, and how cool it is that she's been around as an out lesbian and role model on campus since the 90s. Please welcome to the stage, Dr. Lisa Moore.
I did not really prepare remarks. I am overwhelmed. It really is very special for me to have my name coupled with that of Ana Ishel Rosal, a dear friend, and I think Shane couldn't have put it better. There is no end to what would not be here today, including this event, if not for Ishel's advocacy at a time when just the establishment of a gender and sexuality center on campus what put us in the crosshairs of the legislature. She was a fierce advocate, a tender mentor, and to me she was and remains a really hilarious friend. I texted her when I saw the program and saw my name beside her initials and said, oh, finally, I get to put you on my CV. And she told me to give you all her love. So echoing others, I want to say how important it is that you are here today. What a great achievement it is that this community can come together and celebrate one another with the support of the GSC. The magic that the GSC team pulls out of the hat again and again has just humbled and astonished me over the years. And it's wonderful to see how this event has grown, how many more family members we now have here supporting our graduates. That has changed a lot since 2008. And it just lets us know that each of us in our own way are making space for the people coming up next. And so thank you for your contributions to that. Congratulations on your achievements. I don't really hook them, but I love this one. Peace, love, Texas.
I feel like I'm at a party getting to introduce all my friends. It's really kind of a beautiful thing to get to do. So I now get to introduce another one of my friends. In 2012, the Lavender Graduation Committee introduced a new award, the Lavender Spirit Award. This award is for campus partners the committee thinks have worked beyond and above, or above and beyond, their specific role on campus to ensure that UT is an affirming and welcoming place for LGBTQIA+ students. We are happy to announce, okay, so Jackie and I worked alongside, I know, I'm sorry, I'm a storyteller, right? Jackie worked in women and gender studies the entire time, right? That I worked at the Gender and Sexuality Center, and Peers for Pride was cross-listed between women and gender studies and social work. And so there was always administrative nonsense that had to happen around the class. And Jackie always took amazing care to make sure that I never had to mess in the nonsense. So thank you. Off script. Okay. We're happy to announce that this year the award is going to Jackie Salcedo. Students have said that Jackie is the place. They get much of their information about queer and trans-focused events on campus. And the GSC has been grateful to have Jackie's help with basically everything since the GSC opened its doors. Jackie has been on our advisory boards, donated to our crisis fund. Oh, it wasn't in the script. Supported the Peers for Pride program, volunteered at countless events, and has given us some amazing contributions to the clothing swap. Please join me in congratulating Jackie. You want it now or later? Yes.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for the fashion shout out. I feel seen. Thank you, everyone. This award means a lot to me because of the people that it comes from. I even prepared remarks. They gave me 2 minutes, but we'll see. Y'all make me proud to do the work that I do. It is a joy. I enjoy supporting you and find it super fulfilling. I would like to thank the mentors who helped me step up my game along the way. Shane Wally, Kristen Fogan, Michelle Rosal, Matt Richardson, Obi Tinsley, Xavier Liverman, Derek Bortes, Lisa Moore, Liz Elson, Tony Bowe, Gloria Gonzalez Lopez, and my sister, Jeanette. Hi, Jeanette. I hope she's watching. Okay, so I'm an award-winning academic advisor because, you know. This is not my first award, but it's certainly going to be my favorite. So let me give you some advice, some award-winning advice, and perhaps you can listen too, right? Couple things. I'm going to include something that I wish someone had done for me during graduation. So number one, go out for after what you want. Don't wait for an invitation. Don't wait for a group or crew to assemble. Just start now. And eventually you will attract people who want to join you in your venture. If you are in your 20s, this is the most energy you will ever have. And you have the resources to bounce back after taking a big risk, so go for it. If you are no longer in your 20s, congratulations. This is when the energy transforms into wisdom. Your task now is to learn to listen to your innate wisdom and to take care of yourself and to unlearn everything everyone else wanted you to be. And I'm still doing that. Number 3, no matter what your age, it's hard out there. The transition from school to no school, how do you know if you're doing anything right if you don't get graded? Like, I don't know. I'm still figuring that one out too. So if you can indulge me in a little exercise, and parents, you can do it too. Raise one of your hands and repeat after me. It's okay if I don't have it all figured out right now. It's okay if I don't have a job lined up. It's okay if I don't know who I'm dating. It's okay if I don't know what city I'm moving to. I am more than enough. Just as I am. I am right where I need to be. I have a support system to get me where I want to go. And now I'm going to absorb the joy and the present of this moment. You are perfect, full and complete, and you have been from the moment that you were born. Congratulations. I love you all.
Finally, one moment. Finally, our graduates each get to nominate one of their fellow graduates to speak. We have had so many wonderful nominations, but one person got so many nominations that it was clear she was going to have to be our speaker. Luckily, she accepted. Our 2022 Lavender Graduation speaker is Adrienne Hunter. Who served as the director of the Queer and Trans Student Alliance, where this year, go ahead, yes? Where this year she helped lead the report on the state of LGBTQIA plus affairs at UT Austin. Really? It's like the State of the Union address. The work she's done during her time at UT has dramatically improved the campus climate for queer and trans students. In a personal note, Adrienne's also been working on this really cool cross-generational project. And I think one of the things that we need to do more of is having older folks that are still here talk to younger folks. I don't know about that wisdom at 30. I don't know that I'll sign on to that. At 60, I'm like, maybe, I don't know. On a good day. Anyway, please join me in welcome Adrienne as your guest speaker.
Hey everybody, there's a lot of y'all. I'm not nervous. You're nervous, I'm not nervous. But when I found out I was speaking today, a part of me was like a little surprised they were letting me speak, because anyone that knows me knows that like I have a lot to say. And sometimes I just like say it and it's not always the best about UT. But on a serious note, when I was thinking about what I was gonna mention today, for me, there was one thing that was like on the forefront of my mind. And as I am here today and I see so many faces that I would not be where I am if it wasn't for like the people that I see here today. And knowing that and seeing that, it's really important for me. I just wanna mention how community and relationships and connections I've formed with others is like the reason that I'm able to be at graduation. There's been a lot of times where it's been really difficult, and those connections have been what's helped me. And you know, as I hinted earlier, UT has not always been the kindest to a lot of folks, to a lot of queer folks, to a lot of folks in general. And it's really been like those connections that I've made that have really helped me to get through it. And just seeing so many people here today is like really exciting to me. And I'm just really excited to see where those go. You know, a lot of us are probably gonna, once we graduate, once we find out what we're doing, because Jackie's words resonated with me. I have no idea what I'm doing. I have zero idea what I'm doing. Literally no clue. But a lot of us are probably eventually gonna, join similar institutions, and, those institutions might not be the kindest. And having formed the relationships and the connections that I have that have helped me get through what I have got through, definitely does give me hope that, we can keep doing that in the future. And I'm just really glad to be here, and it's just so exciting to see everybody here. And yeah, thank you for hearing my ramblings, but that's all.
Thank you, Adrian. Congrats to all of our amazing award winners today. You've all come a long way and deserve it. Okay. Now it's my pleasure to nominate another person I'm a huge fan of, our keynote speaker, Rocky Lane. Rocky Lane, who uses he, him pronouns, is a media creator. Oh my gosh, TikTok. Okay. Entrepreneur and community engagement advocacy consultant who specializes in wellness access. He studied at the ACC paramedic program, the German massage school. Yeah, don't know. I know where it is. And Waking Yoga 200-hour trauma-informed teacher training with a focus on underserved populations. Over the last few years, Rocky has been working as a local wellness provider and has been supporting advocacy and community-based teams as the regional co-leader for Texas Trans Forward. Okay, personal note. So Rocky checks in with his people during snowpocalypse, did all kinds of organizing. Can't remember what was actually happening, and I got a text from Rocky saying, "Hey Shane, I'm just checking in." I think you may have said with elders. It's all right. To see if there's anything you need. I was like, "No, I made it to the store today, bro." Right? But yeah, it's like checks in. Right, so that organizing piece is real. Before that, he served on the board as TENT, the Transgender Education Network of Texas, and he recently launched Swirl Baby LLC with partner Sarah in 2021. His goal in consulting is to help community stakeholders in the process of building better relationships through media and creative solutions. He hopes to help the Central Texas region create a stronger and more diverse community voice in the design and development of our thriving community future. Let's dream it forward and build it back, okay? People often describe him as focused, energetic, knowledgeable, attentive, and possibly magical. I will sign off on all that. You can connect with him and Swirl Baby LLC on Instagram. Rocky, the mic is yours.
Wow. Hello, everybody. I don't know who decided that this was a good idea, but thank you very much. It's lovely. I made some remarks here. This is my first keynote. So good job with firsts. All right. So this is going to be an imagination time invitation. You don't have to close your eyes, but I invite you to imagine with me. Close your eyes or simply imagine. Yeah. So let's imagine that you're flying over the shores of the Pacific coast. You see wave after wave crashing into rocks and sands. You imagine that each wave is a different distance on the shore, leaving moisture imprints and removing all traces of footprints, creating a clean slate. Now, instead of waves of water, I want you to imagine that this is actually waves of people. Waves of ideas, waves of impact, waves of change. Imagine each cresting wave a generation of underserved people learning and leaning into historical tides. Each wave of humanity explaining something that takes us farther toward our goal and sets us on a new path, creating an access point for more moisture to touch the sand and make it anew. Hear the waves crashing as voices, rising in audible levels and stirring a sea of change within you. Do you hear the voices of the ancestors? Do you feel the pull of every wave before you? Do you feel the push? You can open your eyes now. We're back from imagination land. I'll start my speech now. I want to encourage you to hear one concept if you hear nothing else. You cannot fight the tides of water. You have to learn to navigate by moving like water, adapting yourself to the waves, to the environment of churning and the calamity of colliding. Sometimes the best thing to do is to ride the wave and enjoy the ride as much as you can. You are the generation I believe that will sit tallest on the wave of change. And so today, I want to read you a speech about how ready I think you are. For this moment, enjoy, celebrate a victory. Hi, I'm Rocky Lane. My pronouns are he and his, and I'm a creative entrepreneur, and I call Austin my home. In the creative world, I make media with my spouse, Sarah, right there, for a channel called Rocky and Sarah, and also Swirl Baby TV. In advocacy, I advise and collaborate on some of the work of our region as it relates to improving the quality of life for trans and gender diverse humans living across our state. My strategies in creative design focus on intersectional adaptations to resourcing an underserved community and engaging incredible people to build an abundant world for trans and gender diverse people that they all deserve, or something like that, generally. To do this and many other jobs, I've had to combine all of my talents into action. And this is largely how I help others find their place in community advocacy and groups of all sizes. You probably have no idea who I am. And that is actually perfect. I asked some of the community leaders to give me an idea of what to share with you all today. And one idea really inspired me, and that became the title of this speech. And the title is, "The Kids," that's y'all, "are gonna be all right." So let me start by saying, you don't need to know who I am. In fact, if you have no idea, then that means that you probably have had a positive experience living here locally, and you've never needed to work with me or my teams that I work with. And that's exactly what we've always wanted, for you to thrive and for us to defend your right to do so. So here are my key notes. The kids, once again, that's y'all, are gonna be all right. You know how I know? Because I'm 39 years old. I'm a trans man living in Texas who never even saw a book with the language we use today until I was in my mid-30s. It was darkness mixed with confusion at first. And then suddenly, online chat rooms, right? Community meetups, YouTube, and today, TikTok, holla, and that helped me connect and learn, right? Youth use technology in the most incredible ways every year to make historic progress for our people from their homes. That is an unstoppable force of 1,000 physical protesters. You cannot control the spread of information, and that is accessible because of our innovations to avoid bullies and trolls for decades. The kids gonna be all right. You know how I know? Because I've watched people go from being terrified to enter a bathroom in this state to standing on the steps of our Capitol in our community and screaming at the top of their lungs in groups of 5 or 100. I've seen 6-year-olds standing up on podiums to speak their truths. And they speak it to people who have no intention of hearing them, and yet they still inspire a completely new generation of powerful advocates to step forward in solidarity from all walks of life. The solidarity across experiences is what I know makes our magic special. We come from all around and hold this line together. We are breaking the veil of shame, and the shine on our future is so, so bright. The kids gonna be all right. You know how I know? Because I married the love of my life only 6 years ago while waiting 3 decades, dreaming of the moments I had with them. Love is the law of this land, and it matters that the voting population will have the compassion like no other generation for the freedom to love and live like we want. You for challenging everything and questioning it all. We have waited so long for you. Our legacy to grow to this strength and take us farther than the ancestors' wildest dreams. The kids gonna be all right. You know how I know? Because every day you fight for each other and not in opposition with each other. Every day is an opportunity to create impact around you. And from the community that has always existed and is growing, we welcome new students and thought leaders from around the globe to call this city home and build our future. The generation added a key ingredient that I think this generation added a key ingredient that I think is important, which is, I think mentioned earlier, community care and collaboration, which I completely agree with. Yeah. So I believe and speak often on the ways that we must set a foundation for the next 20 years of our work together, and with these as our cornerstones. If we are to achieve anything, we must create a community who uplifts and defends each other. We must seek equity in our solutions and build systems that are culturally relevant to our unique experiences. We must seek to add to our efforts and release the energy to destroy and build anew. If we are not adding to an effort with historical knowledge, we are in danger of erasure. The kids gonna be all right. You know how I know? Because we've been given a gift by the trans and gender expansive elders. And the energies of the universe to teach others how to appreciate all people. We get to see this dream come true. The ride will be wild. Allow your leadership and your goals to be informed by what we have learned and built to this point. Trust yourself to know what is best for us and be a guardian for your siblings. This will serve us all when we welcome our brilliant future forward. In closing, I am incredibly proud of you all. You are not kids by any means, but when I look at you, I see a brand new me. Never forget, oh, I can't wait to see what you are here in 20 years giving this speech, what you will have to say. Never forget that trans rights are human rights, and you have the power to build the world that you want to see. And it is an honor to say that my work and the work of thousands of other people like me lives on in you. True inclusion starts with mutual respect and admiration for all of our contributions to our liberation. I honor yours. I thank you so, so much for honoring mine in this space. And you are, again, our wildest dream. And I know so many of my colleagues out there working daily for our rights and protections would join me in saying, congratulations, little BBs. We love you so much. And yeah, thank you.
So grateful I could make it back to the podium. Thank you, Rocky. Whew. It's now time for the moment you've been waiting for. You weren't just here to hear us talk. Maybe for the cupcakes. Today's presenters will be Krista Chacon, Assistant Director of the Multicultural Engagement Center. Dr. Lisa Moore, we give you awards, then we make you work. That's how this works. Dr. Lisa Moore, Director of LGBT Studies, and Jackie Salcedo, Senior Program Coordinator of the Center for Women and Gender Studies. Reading the names will be the Chair of the Department of Spanish and Portuguese, Jorge Perez. Listen to your wrangler, my friends. Listen to your wrangler.
Shift the camera so that you can see. Hi, y'all. Oh, yeah, we were just gonna do like a cordial wave or like hand it to them or bump. I think decoration.
Adrian Hunter.
I think it's good.
Right, it's like, yeah.
Do I go which one?
You can come back. I'm just pointing it over.
Bachelor's in accounting. James, Bachelor of Art in Government class honors. Julia, Bachelor of Arts in Psychology, class 2 honors. BA in class 2 International Relations and Global Studies. Boris, BA in African American Diaspora Studies and BA in Communication and Leadership. Julieta Suárez Calderón, Bachelor in Women and Gender Studies and Race, Indigenous, Ingenuity and Migration. Sarah, BA in Economics, Women and Gender Studies. Marketing and Growing and BS in Advertising. Western Haberla, BSA Biology. Francis Smith, Theater and Dance, Concentration and Performance Process. Tricia Padilla, and Bachelor in Theater and Dance. M.K. Brown, Bachelor's in English.
Just say whatever's safest for you.
Francis Klobowski, Bachelor's in English and Creative Writing. Alexander Santisteban, Bachelor in Public Relations. Jasmine Elias, Bachelor of Arts in Psychology. Brucey Khan, Bachelor of Arts in Plan Honors 2, Government Economics, International Relations, Global Studies, Chinese. Dion, I just leave. Neil Grant, BS in Psychology, French minor, BA, Plan 2 Honors. Elena Ricardo Garcia, BS, BA, Math and Economics. Pablo William, a Bachelor in Management and Information Systems. Faye Wan, Bachelor in MIS. Nova Orozco, Bachelor in Government. Rebecca Regueira, Bachelor in Government. Madeline Martinez, BBA in Marketing. Angelina Ramirez, BA International Relations and Global Studies. John Woodhart, BA in Government. Rosaline Hong, BBA in Accounting.
Didi Win, BS, Human Development and Family Sciences, minor in Sociology, Social Work, and something else. Like, Cindy Lynn, BSN in Nursing. Juan Rose Brown, BSA in Chemistry, minor in Comparative Literature. Alison Cameron, Bachelor of Social Work, Bachelor of Sociology. Eli Ortiz, Bachelor of Science, Arts and Entertainment Technologies. Blake Title, undergrad BS Mechanical Engineering. Trey Subramanian, BS Arts and Entertainment Technologies. Susan C, BSA Biochemistry. Selena Little, Bachelor's in Business Administration. Eliana Hernandez, BS Applied Movement Sciences. Eva Lopez, Bachelor of Science and Arts in Human Development and Family Science, minor in LGBTQ Sexuality Studies. Randy Roy, Bachelor of Arts, Sociology and Geography. Mitchell Lopez Shonghat, BA in International Relations and Spanish and Portuguese. Gabriel Edwards, Bachelor of Science in Human Biology. Caroline Freer, Bachelor in Government. Sarah Troiano, Bachelor in Government. Dana John, Bachelor in Social Work. Janet Castellano, BA in Government. Eric Garcia, BSA Neuroscience, BA in History, SLA minor, pre-health certificate. Rihanna Villarreal, Bachelor's in Bilingual Education. Roma Longoria, BS in Biology. Cabello, Bachelor of Arts in Sociology, Certificate in Pre-Health Professions. Sochi Jones, Fine Arts, Art History, LGBTQ Studies minor. Nicholas Pratt, College of Liberal Arts, Biology, BA, Anthropology minor. Taylor Bennett, Bachelor of Science, Computational Biology, Bachelor of Arts in French. Gay Williamson, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Theater Studies. Noel Gonzalez, BFA, Theater Education. Charlotte Elizabeth Bungalow, Bachelor of Arts, Fine Arts and Theater Studies, minor in Arts, Management and Administration. James Hogan, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Theater Studies. Luis, Bachelor of Arts in English. Robin Dimawa Naha, Bachelor of Civil Engineering. Prada Gomez Pike, Bachelor of Anthropology Psychology. Nicole Jimenez, Bachelor's in Psychology and Social Work. Jay Saxe, Plan 2 and Women's and Gender Studies. Diva Jagadish, BA in English, BSA Biology. E.C. Roscoe, Bachelor Social Work. Lucia Flores, Bachelor Social Work. Isio Ogumi, BSA Biochemistry, minor in Sociology. Lucas Tang, Bachelor's Chemical Engineering. Morgan Taylor, Bachelor's of Social Work. Isabel Candler, Bachelor of Social Work, minor in American Sign Language, BDD Certificate in Human Rights and Social Justice. Arwin, Bachelor of Psychology and Religious Studies. Alana Park, Bachelor's in Political Communication. Cheyenne Ford, Bachelor's in History and Women Gender Studies, minor in LGBTQ Studies. Hudson Taylor, Bachelor of Science in Health Promotion. Andy Joe, Bachelor of Science in Health Promotion and Behavioral Science. Rachel Austin Warren, Bachelor of Arts in Theater and Dance. Kevin Wynn, Bachelor of Science in Psychology with pre-health profession. Ashley Bazabila, BS in Biology. Samuel Levis, Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering. Christine Ricardo, Bachelor in Sociology. Tynan Holt, Master of Public Affairs. Alex Satterfield, Master of Education in Higher Education Leadership. Liz Green, Master's Sports Management. Lindsay Hancock, Master's in Library Information Science. Caitlin Peter McCombs, Master's of Higher Education. Nikki Rodelas Morris, Master's of Education, Educational Leadership and Policy. Alejandro Cueto, Master's in Music Theory. Chloe Weaver, Master's in Civil Engineering. Claire Levinson, Master's in Professional Accounting. Arthur Wolf, Master's of Business. Emily Midges, Master's in Business. Bryce Micklin, Master of Arts, Latin American Studies. Maria Gracia McLean Rodriguez, Master's in Latin American Studies. Liliana Salinas, Bachelor's in Plan 2 Sociology. Ashley Aburaga, Bachelor's in Government and African American Diaspora Studies. Tay Masnin, Master of Fine Arts in Film and Media Production. Mary Elizabeth Esquivel, Master of Fine Arts in Film and Media Production. Hall, Master of Education, Texas Principal Leadership Academy. Daniela Garza Lozano, Master's Degree Educational Leadership and Policy, Texas Principal Leadership Academy. Diana Davis, Masters of Social Work. Nora Scott, Masters of Social Work. Annie Lee Masters, Masters Social Work. Madison Domin, Master of Science in Social Work. Joe Waters and Master of Social Work. Rosie Mack, PhD English. Melissa Hayden, PhD in English Language and Literature.
Hold on just one moment. While we come, it's okay. Nothing's wrong. It's all good. I'm missing the mic. While we've come a long way with LGBTQIA+ acceptance, there are still many reasons why students might not want to be on camera at Lavender Graduation. Please give us a moment to respect the wishes of the graduates who do not want to be live streamed while we pause the feed for them to celebrate. There are only 25 more pages of script, so really no worries.
All right, you're good to go.
Okay. All right. And the Emmy for celebration for an award ceremony goes to Lavender Graduation. Thank you, Jorge. We appreciate you meeting all of those names. Some of you here may not have been able to register for Lavender Graduation, but would like to be recognized today. If you would like us to recognize you for your graduation this year or in the past, we invite you to stand or wave to be recognized. Hey! Graduates, I invite you to stand if you are able. All right now. Evidently, I didn't use my commanding voice. I present to you the University of Texas Lavender Class of 2022. When you are ready. Today we celebrate you graduates and your communities, friends, and supporters. We are very proud to be a part of your journey and to be in community with you together. This is going to come as a huge shocker, but a ceremony like this doesn't just happen on its own. Today's ceremony is a reflection of hours of work that have been graciously given by a hardworking group of people. Would the members of the Lavender Graduation Planning Committee please make yourselves known? And by that we mean stand if you are able, right? Happy jazz hands in the back. There also have been a lot of amazing volunteers. Masks helped you sign in, got me to the green room. So if we could give one more round of applause, and if those volunteers can make yourself known. And finally, we must pause to thank those supporters who made a financial gift to the GSC, and specifically those who paid for today's graduation stools. Some of our donors may be found here for today's festivities, so let's give them a round of applause. I'm going to ask you to hold your applause until I get to the end of this list. Cupcakes. Okay. The Graduate School, the College of Natural Sciences, the Cockrell School of Engineering, the Macomb School of Business, the Moody College of Communication, the School of Nursing, the School of Information, the LBJ School of Public Affairs, and the Council for LGBTQIA+ access, equity and inclusion, and the University Faculty Gender Equity Council, and the Council for Racial and Ethnic Equity and Diversity. Insert shameless plug here. If you want us to clap for you next year during this ceremony, you are more than welcome to make a donation today, tomorrow, next week at the GSC's website. Next, I'm happy to invite one of the hosts for today's reception to the stage. Please welcome John Connor.
What's the build-up? I promise the cupcakes are coming soon. Well, good afternoon, and thank you for sitting through one more, hopefully really short speech. After such a great ceremony, I want to welcome you all to the Eder Harbin Alumni Center, the home of your alumni association, the Texas Exes. Shane said, my name is John Cano, and I'm the chair of the Texas Exes Pride Alumni Network. First off, again, extending congratulations to the Lavender graduates. One more round of applause. You've all accomplished something truly amazing. I'm proud to get to spend the graduation day here with you. Usually I'm setting this up while the event has been going on in the ballroom. So it's exciting to finally get to be here for the whole time. You're a truly fantastic group of LGBTQIA students. For our newest graduates making the transition from students to alumni, I want to tell you a little bit about the Texas X's Pride Alumni Network. Founded in 2009 in order to give LGBTQIA alumni a much needed voice within the university and the Texas X's Association, the network has grown into an effective and dedicated champion working to improve the university climate for LGBTQIA students and to connect and advocate for alumni. From our humble beginnings, we now have over 1,100 members, and we communicate monthly to nearly 700 supporters who subscribe to our electronic newsletter. We've held events in Austin, Dallas, Houston, Washington, D.C., and we're always looking to expand into new areas. We couldn't have done this without the help of outstanding volunteers whom I'm privileged to work with. If you've been a volunteer or a board member with the Pride Alumni Network, please raise your hand, stand if you're able, and let's give them all a round of applause. Our goal is always to make the University of Texas at Austin a more inclusive space. And as an alumni, which you are all going to be very soon, you have a unique role to play. But we need more than alumni if we're going to reach our goals. So whether you're an alum yourself, a friend, a family member, a current student, or an employee of the university, we want you to be part of the network. So be on the lookout for an email from us that will tell you much more about how to get involved. I'd like to also recognize that we have a few community organizations who are set up in the main concourse outside. I encourage you to check them out and visit with them during the celebration. These are organizations that day in and day out are supporting and advocating for LGBTQIA individuals in the Austin community. Our network will also have a table set up so you can check out our Rainbow Longhorn merchandise, and we'll have the scan codes that you can join Hooked In, which is like LinkedIn for Texas X's staff, faculty, and alumni. I told you earlier about some of our network activities, but one that I'm most excited to work towards has been our scholarship. Last year, we hit our initial goal of endowing our first Pride Alumni Network scholarship, which was open to LGBTQIA students here at UT. I'm excited to announce that this year's inaugural winner of the Pride Alumni Network scholarship, while he can't be with us here, is Alonzo Needham. Our initial award is $500, but that is being matched by the Texas X's to bring the total to $1,000. So congratulations again to Alonzo. This is really my wrap up. To wrap up, I'd like to thank all of the volunteers and the organizations who are here today. And another quick note, any of the photos taken at the reception afterwards by our photographer may be used to promote the Texas X's and our network. The photographer will be asking individuals for verbal consent before taking any photos, and we'll be reviewing all the photos against the consent signs that you filled out during check-in. Again, thank you all for joining us. Please stick around to enjoy some snacks, get your certificate. It'll be at the end of the hall, and of course, get those cupcakes. Open.
Graduates, there is one last thing I want you to know. You are part of something very special, unique, powerful, and authentically beautiful. We have seen many losses over time, but take special note, this victory you fought for and worked so hard to earn. All right, everybody. That concludes today's ceremony. It's time. Okay. Yep, come on. I've got some last instructions, so please take note. It's time to send our graduates off first. So you supporting people, no rushing to the cupcakes. You stay in your seats. All right. We ask that all guests remain seated while the graduates recess and give them one last moment to shine in this ceremony. Graduates, as you exit the ballroom, we hope you will hold your head up high, make the center aisle your personal runway. There was no dancing during the rehearsal. It was very disappointing. Do not disappoint me again. And enjoy the applause because it is all for you. Thank you all for coming, and let's show the graduates some love as they leave the ballroom.